The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
He's always been an incredible decision maker on the field. Takes care of the ball really well, puts his team in the right positions, makes sure the play calls are accurate. Also was a minor league baseball player. Didn't hit very well there. I think he made a great career choice picking football.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, the Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. Now they try the right side here. A pretty nice gain there on the run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the agile move. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
And that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on 3rd down to force the incompletion to set up 4th. So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. On the return, this is Haney. The good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback. On 1st and 10, Richard. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And they're going to face a 3rd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Earl Thomas has the speed, quickness, and skills to be a cornerback in the NFL, and I think he would have been a good one. But playing in the middle of this field as a free safety, I think he's the best eraser in the NFL. Takes care of any mistakes that happen in front of him and hardly ever lets anything get over his head.
From the gun on 3rd down. Richard, throw left side complete. It's Haynes. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big.
That's what they were aiming for. You want to keep moving the sticks, get into a rhythm, gain confidence as you go along. And right now, mission accomplished.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
And now a first down following that long gain. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll take this one down to the 36. The numbers for him from a week ago: 19 carries, 118 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff, because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync. I'm wondering, partner, if they might need to sub him out for a play or two, because after that long run he just had on the previous play, he might not have all of his breath back.
Yeah, and they went right back to that different result. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
On the give, this is their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it third down and 10.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Well, it's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun, Richards. That is caught. It's Perriman. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game?
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And out now come the Seahawks. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. A gain of 3, second down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Here's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Ravens have got it. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Following the fumble recovery, Richard firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself. They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
The offense on third down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. From the gun, Richard. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So put 3 on the board, but from inside the 5. And I know we use this phrase a lot, but that's a big-time win for the defense.
It sure is. You've got the short field behind you, so you can afford to turn up the pressure. And that's a nice sequence there to keep them out of the end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson pushes past him. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And an alley to run. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. 1 quarter in the books. 10-zip our score. We're back to Baltimore after this. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
On first down, Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Play action. Now Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Amara Darbo, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. Number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Here's Wilson to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Nick Vanette, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Throwing on first down. Richard, he couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Second down here after the incomplete pass. And to give this time to the tailback. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Back to throw. Richard. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. First down. Richard. Oh, look over the middle, and he's got Perriman. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now a carry here for Terrence West. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
First and 10. Richard. And this is incomplete. Allen, the intended receiver. And it's second down. So second and 10 here. Throwing again. Richard, right back for Allen. This time he finds him complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Ravens on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Richard. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a third-day selection. Anyone after the 4th round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
One of the things that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Play action. It's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Walsh now for the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. To throw again. Richard. They find some open field here. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first. Throwing on first down. Richard throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half.
45, 45. Key in. Come on, let's go.
To throw on second down. Richard. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Malik McDowell continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. Throwing on third and long. Richard. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack in the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. And it's the Browns out to the early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. You know, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And some room to work. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now Wilson operating from the gun. And he will find his man on the outside. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now Wilson on second down. He's going to loft one deep left. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
It's up and good to make it 21-17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has one touchdown, one interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. Back to throw. Richard. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards.
The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. And that's what we just got on that play. As a primary receiver, not always just a check down, not always a safety valve. Sometimes they just get it to them right away because they have the matchup advantage.
So they're operating in the red zone.
Come on, let's go.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and that'll bring him back within a point. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good, because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports halftime report. The Ravens haven't played their best football and trail because of it. The Seahawks have looked good on the road and will just try to keep the ball rolling in the second half. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Ravens have it at the 25. The connection is made in the middle of the field, and he'll end up being taken down at the 4. Ravens now later on the drive. Collins has got it on the run, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown as they take a 7-0 lead. Seahawks with the ball early in the second. Middle of the field, Wilson finding his mark. After the short pass, he'll score. Seahawks now down by just 3. Ravens on offense midway through the second. Richards' throw under pressure leads to the turnover. Seahawks defense gets off the field with the turnover. Offense out now following the INT. Quick pass is complete, and he'll take this all the way for a touchdown. They're now on top by 4. First and 10. Collins has got the reception, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 28-yard line. Continuing on the drive, here the pass will be completed into coverage, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. Late in the second, that puts them up by a field goal. Broken coverage here on the pass play. Staying late in the second, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to their own 42-yard line. We're set up for a great second half, so let's get you out to it. Here's Brandon Guyton.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And his throw is incomplete. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Back to the air on second down. Richard finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play. And just like that, it's third down. The Ravens on third down. They've been very good. 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Richard. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. On first down, Richard. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down.
And he is dropped. But we do have a penalty marker on the field. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last for
a long time.
No doubt.
Back to throw. Richard. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Yeah, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun, Richard, and he fires one incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Richard. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
Now West. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's John Ryan now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 1st and 10, Richard. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Throwing again. Richard. And that'll be incomplete. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs. From the gun, Richard. Now he'll let it go deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Here's Sam Cook now, standing just outside his own goal line. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Wilson. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Okay, let's hit the analytics side here. 3rd down, passing situation. You know most people got to dial up some sort of pressure.
And they did, and they got to him while he was in the pocket.
In that situation, you know as a quarterback, they're coming. You've got to be able to stand in there firm and make a throw.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Richard. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The Ravens on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Everyone's got 4 down. Come on, let's go.
Looking to throw. Richard. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Here we go. What?
Throwing on first down. Richard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Here we go. What?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
To throw on 2nd down. Richard. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Wilson looking to throw on 2nd down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Well, we've seen some lead changes, and it certainly appeared that one of these squads was in full control of the game, but that's not the case after that touchdown.
Yeah, they erase a 2 TD deficit here to grab the lead. Extra point try now for Walsh. And the lead is up to 5. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 24 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Here we go. Ryan 38. Ryan 38.
On first down, Richard. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 32. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Back to throw. Richard. His throw incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Looking to throw. Richard throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
First and 10. Richard. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. To throw again. Richard. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tony Jefferson in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
To throw is Wilson. To throw on second down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That one goes for 29 yards on third down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
He lost 6 there on the first down play.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Looking to throw on second down. Richard. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third. He's back to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big 30-yard play on third. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. So this brings up a 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
And touchdown and congratulations and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well. Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So Tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. They'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Back to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they give this time to the tailback. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 2nd and goal. Defense digging in again here. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
And his kick is good. Despite the rainstorm, a good snap, a good hold, and the kick went through. And they'll be celebrating in Pioneer Square tonight. The Seahawks have won the game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these 2 teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Seahawks, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.